Welcome to Mortal Skillplay, everyone, the commentated Longplay series where I play action games at their hardest in an attempt to show that anyone can play games like this. Today we are playing Mirror's Edge, which is a bit of a break from our normal fare. It is a first-person parkour platformer by DICE, the developers of Battlefield. Now, I've never played Battlefield because I have no interest in military shooters, but I did like Mirror's Edge back in the day. About a decade ago, I think in 2013, I played it on the PlayStation 3. Played it through once, liked it, never did play it again, but I did enjoy it. So I figured it's about time to put it on the channel. Now, the way we're going to structure this Mortal Skillplay is a bit different from normal. It's not going to be a single segment run throughout the hardest difficulty on, you know, from start to finish in one recording, because for a couple of reasons. For one, all hard mode does in this game is turn off certain UI indicators, and it makes combat, which is something you want to avoid in this game anyway, harder just via damage numbers. It's not very interesting. However, there is a speedrun mode, and of course there's no online anymore, so we'll skip that. And you can just kind of like, and basically what you do is you go through every chapter in the game, in the story mode, and try to beat a par time. So what we're gonna do is that I'm going to go ahead and get into the training mode so I can show you what that's like. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of seamlessly jump into the speedrun chapters with par times, and you know, that will be the whole run. I will also make sure to splice the cutscenes between. That way it'll be like you're getting the full experience of watching the game all the way through, because you know, that's part of what this long play exists for, right? It exists to show you what the experience of playing through is like. Anyway, that said, we're going to go ahead and get started on training. If you don't want to see what the basic mechanics are like, just use chapters to skip ahead to the prologue.
Once the city used to pulse with energy, dirty and dangerous, but alive and wonderful. Now, it's something else. The changes came slowly at first. Most didn't realize, or didn't care, and accepted them. They chose a comfortable life. Some didn't. And those who refused to conform were pushed to the sidelines, criminalized. They became our clients. We call ourselves runners. We exist on the edge, between the gloss and the reality. The mirror's edge. We keep out of trouble, out of sight, and the cops don't bother us. Runners see the city in a different way. We see the flow. Rooftops become pathways and conduits, possibilities, and routes to escape. The flow is what keeps us running, keeps us alive.
Training time, Face. Yeah, I know you hate it, but that fall took you out of commission for a while. And now you're back, you gotta keep sharp, especially in this city. Check out these new training grounds, pretty slick, huh? Celeste's on runaround duty, so get to her and just go with the flow, okay?
Alright, so we just have, this controls very much like a basic, like, you know, first-person game. The gimmick here is that, you know, space is for upward actions and shift is for downward actions. You'll notice this platform turned red. Pay attention to that, that's going to be a bit important. Now, what's going on here is there is a mechanic in this game called a runner vision. What runner vision does is that it turns important interactables into the color red as you get close to them. Because this game has a lot of opportunity for you to kind of like do like thumb sequence breaking and choosing your own direction on where to go. And what the game does in runner vision is it kind of highlights the important stuff as well as the path of least resistance. That's not to say you can't find your own path forward, because you can, even though these are linear story missions, but the runner vision does kind of give you an idea of where to go. And hard mode turns off runner vision just by default. And you're not going to see me do anything crazy in this training because it doesn't really let you, but you know, when in the full game, when we get to the real chapters, you'll see that we can kind of engage in a few different ways. And of course, we have this dot on the screen. This dot on the screen actually isn't required. In fact, I prefer to keep it off personally, just for full immersion, because this is a game that has basically, you see these training prompts here, but aside from this training section, there almost aren't any UI prompts whatsoever in the game. So it just kind of looks like purely, you know, immersive in that way. But also, I know that the dot in the middle of the screen apparently helps people with motion sickness. So I figured if there are people who suffer from motion sickness, maybe they'll have an easier time watching this video if it's on. There we go. There we go. Now this is a little tricky sometimes, but let's see what we can do. There we go. Way too many times I've found it easy to fall off while trying to sidle, because it just kind of does it automatically based on your directional input. And of course, Celeste is wearing red to, you know, show us that, you know, we're supposed to be following her. I think that's kind of a cute touch. Now, if we were in hard mode with runner vision turned off, none of these things would be highlighting red. So it would just be kind of about, you know, like your memorization of the elements, which I guess is a form of challenge. I don't think it's a particularly meaningful one. Like, it's very, very easy when you're learning a game this short to just kind of like internalize where those are anyway, at least personally. Which is one of the reasons we're not doing a hard mode for this video.
Wants me to run you through some sparring. You know how he is. You ready?
Now there is combat in this game, unfortunately. We will cover... I will tell you about my beef with combat in this game later on. Now isn't the time, though. But yeah, you can see right here, you kind of combine the crouch and the jump to do different actions. And you do have a disarm button right here, just, you know, to disarm enemies because you're going to be fighting a lot of cops. This is one of those games. Oops. You'll understand later. Trust me, later on in the game, you'll want to shoot Celeste too.
Remember what I taught you, Faith. Isolate them. Fight them one at a time if you gotta fight.
There we go. And that's another thing. There's kind of a counter system in this game. And like their weapon will like turn red when you can disarm them. Now this is a mechanic that we're actually not going to use at all, just as kind of a personal stipulation. This is reaction time. Reaction time, basically what it does is that you literally slow down time for you and everyone else for a few seconds, which makes it easier to react to weapons and allows you to pull off harder feats easier. I think it's kind of a pace breaker, and also I have trouble using it effectively, so we're not going to be using reaction time in this run at all.
Faith, let me know when you're ready to get going.
See you later, Faith.
Alright, and that will be it. Alright, that said, we are now going to get into the speedrun mode. So we're going to go here, we're going to turn off connecting. And yeah, play offline because there is no online. And then we're going to go ahead and get started into the prologue. And then from then on, you will not see the timers anymore. So I'm just going to show you real quick what they are. I'll probably like put a prompt on the screen that shows how much each one is when the chapter starts. So you won't have to worry about that. But we'll go ahead and get started here. Now, normally at the very top right, that time you're going to see is the par time to beat the speedrun stage. This one is 3 minutes, but you see a smaller time because that's actually my personal best, because I've already done the prologue and chapter 1 on speedrun mode. But we're trying to beat 3 minutes, which is the par, not my personal best. Even though being my personal best would be pretty cool. Now, this is kind of neat right here. This is just kind of like a gameplay demo, so to speak. I'm not controlling it. And it just kind of shows you like the cooler tricks you can do in the game. which, you know, I guess it's kind of like a way to kind of demonstrate the player, monkey see, monkey do, and it's like, now you try it. Which is kind of fun. Like, some of the better developers from the 7th generation, in my opinion, were pretty good at this. Like, Bayonetta is another one that, like, used cutscenes, the very first cutscene, to demonstrate, like, you know, how, the idea of how you're meant to play the game.
Yeah, I'm sure the birds are real impressed, Vic. But once you finish showing off, you think you might concentrate on some actual work? Get Celeste in position for a
This grumpy guy on the radio is our buddy Merc. He'll be delivering us tips as well as story throughout the game. Let's see if we can impress him right here.
You're taking your sweet old time. Celeste's getting pissed. She's almost at the comms tower and you ain't. Get moving and give her the bag. Cell will take it from there.
Yeah, well, apparently if you beat it imperceptibly fast enough, he will instead comment on how fast you're being, which I literally did a test recording right before this where I skipped the opening cutscene, and he said he was impressed with more or less the exact same time. I don't know if I was like a second too late or what, but it's whatever. We're making really good time. But yeah, that's actually a thing in this game. Like, Merc will occasionally, like, whoop, let's run. There are cops to our left.
Just get the hell out of there.
There we go, alright. Not even looking them, we're just gonna run, because all cops are bastards. In the real world and in this one.
I'm patching Celeste in. You there, Cell?
What the hell's happening? I can hear gunshots, and that bird seems a little too curious.
Fate's on her way. Get your ass ready to move.
Whoop.
Blue's ahead. You're gonna have
Alright, we're just gonna run. Oh, darn it. That was not my best run, but that's okay.
Get to Celeste. There are more Blues on the way.
Come on, Faith. CPF in the town. Hey, throw me the bag!
And there's Celeste from the training area.
Okay, I got it from here.
Okay, they're playing rough cell.
I'll be fine. Get out of here!
Now we just gotta get to this helicopter and get out of here.
Don't care how you do it, just do it.
And hey there, we beat my personal best after all. Not very hard, because that's only my second time doing it, but still, not bad, not bad, if I say so myself.
This is meant to be a low-key job. Why the hell were they shooting? What did you do, Faith?
Nothing. They just opened fire.
Don't know what the hell's happening. I'll ask around. Get your ass back to base, Faith.
Say again, Officer Connors.
Going to see Pope. Robert Pope. Taking a statement on that break-in last week? Yeah, anyways, it's 56 West Arlen Drive. Tell Lieutenant Miller.
Copy that. I'll relay the message, Officer Connors.
Thanks. Connors out.
Hello, sis.
You there, kiddo?
Hey, Mark.
I bet you're listening to the chatter.
You know me.
We'll try and get some sleep. It's been a rough day. Gonna put the word out tomorrow. See why those Blues got itchy trigger fingers. I'll drop by later, okay? And don't chuck that pizza. I like the topping
Matured. Yeah, I know. See you, Mark.
Shots fired. Repeat, shots fired. All units proceed to 56 West Arlen Drive immediately. Proceed with caution.
Kate! Where are you? Kate, where are you?
Hey,
Merc,
you off?
just get on comms and track me.
Alright, now this is the only other one that I've beaten before recording. So you see my personal best of 5:44:13. The actual part time we're trying to beat is 6 minutes.
It's my sister.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's going on. Give me a sec.
Alright, now I'm going to try to explain some of the intricacies of the mechanics as I go, as best as I can while doing something that's tough. You may see these two-tiered ramps right here. These are what the game refers to as springboards, and they are important because they have inbuilt momentum to them. Like, because everything in this game is kind of like momentum-based.
Pope's place. I guess that's where you're headed, but be
I don't
careful.
know if that was a mistake on my part. Everything is momentum based, and you know, as a result, like seeing something that gives you like just automatic momentum like the springboards is super helpful for maintaining speed and also like getting a head start. And of course wall runs are wall runs are a good way to build speed when you don't make a mistake like I did right there. And thankfully, since these elevators are basically just loading screens, time doesn't move while you're in them.
This weekend, then you need to stop by the Taste of New Eden restaurant for breakfast, lunch,
And of course, this is a
dinner,
console
or
consideration.
the Taste of New Eden.
Now we got a cutscene here, so we'll just watch this.
Paradise.
Kate,
What are you doing here?
what happened? Did you?
No! You don't recognize him?
Should I?
It's Robert. Robert Pope, friend of Dad's.
Shit, that Pope.
He called me. We hadn't talked much since I joined up. He had a break-in last week. He's still a campaigner. Don't you read the news?
It's not news anymore. It's advertising.
He was
I
right.
remember thinking that was so
Breaking must have
woke
released
back in the
Kruger
day.
in.
That's what I thought. But it was odd. He told me about the break-in, asked me to come, then asked after you.
Really? I haven't seen him for at least 10 years.
Anyway, he was alive when I got here. Just sitting at his desk, writing. Everything went black. When I came to, he'd been shot. And I'm pretty sure it's with my gun. There was a book on the desk, a diary. It was gone. I'm sure there was someone else in the building. Left my radio in the car, haven't had time to phone it in.
Come on, come with me. I'll take you somewhere.
That is such a convenient excuse, by the way, that like the cop didn't have her radio for some reason,
This was an accident, Kate.
and that
No
means they're gonna
accident.
think it's her fault. Like, come on.
Someone wanted him dead and wanted you to take the fall.
Help me, Effie, please. You've got contacts. There's gotta be more to this. Something he knew. Something he wanted to tell me.
I can't get involved in this, Kate. You know what I do. I just can't.
Blue's incoming, Faith. You might want to be outgoing right about, now.
I'll see what I can do.
If this goes down badly, find Lieutenant Miller, my superior. Take anything you find to him.
I'm serious, Faith. Remember, they're not playing nice. Get out of there.
Now go! And Faith, thank you.
These first-person hugs are genuinely kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie about that. All right, here we go.
Shit!
We gotta run.
Get out of that building, Faith. Move.
All right, I may or may not regret this. This is a little bit on the reckless side.
Faith, find a way out of there. Get out of there, Faith.
There we go. All right, much faster.
Should be an exit through the accounting office.
Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, yep. You know what? We'll do it the slow way. That's fine. There we go. Come on, let's move. And this is just all about running. It's not quite as difficult as it looks. Yeah.
That bird ain't playing around. Get your ass to the CEC news building. I'm finding you a way out.
Oh, that was my fault. I'm trying to be too fancy. There we go. Alright, we rolled over. It's kind of what I wanted to happen. Now we can do a tiny little skip right here. Whoop, wrong direction, but we still got on there. There we go. Alright. I usually have a hard time making that jump. Wall jumps are very fun in this game, in my opinion. And the reason you see me kind of like crouching and slide kicking or like jump kicking every door is because apparently that's, from what I read, that is actually faster than doing the wall barge, the door barge animation. Even though the door barge animation does look pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah, you can breathe out. Damn, what a mess. Can't believe Pope's gone. Shit, man, this damn city. So you know him, huh? Well, you sure opened a can of worms on this one. Take the bridge across the avenue and head for Centurion Plaza. Picking up squad cars moving in on you. You ain't got much time.
There we go. That's another one that I usually have trouble pulling off. It's like, there's a lot of granularity to your movement in Mirror's Edge. And often it means, if you're not like super precise in a way that I struggle with, it can mean you like dying. Like, you know, just because of like a imperceptibly off directional movement.
You gotta push through to the plaza face. There's a route through the tunnels ahead.
Get some. We cut off his line. There we go.
You don't want to know what's behind your face. Just keep running. Should be an exit off the rail overpass in the plaza ahead. Creek's heading to the other side to get down.
All right.
Blue's up ahead, kiddo. One
Combat.
Remember.
We gotta fight. No, we don't. We really don't.
Head up onto the rail overpass. It's the only way through.
Go. I have a feeling we're not going to beat my best time, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're still going to beat the par time, and that's the part that really matters. Yeah, because there were a couple jumps that we missed. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, we did it. There we go, we beat it. That was my fault. I totally forgot I was supposed to, basically the way the skill roll works in this game is that it's kind of like rolling an Ocarina of Time. If you roll from a high enough fall, you won't take damage.
You okay? Come on.
You did good, Faith. No word on what's got the Blues so trigger happy, but I'll keep on it. And, don't worry about your sis, okay? We'll fix it.
the hell, Merc?
Something's got somebody rattled, kiddo. I don't know what it is, but they're mighty jittery. Hey, Sal.
Take long to lose them?
Nah, those blues can't move for shit. They've gotten a little gun happy, though.
Wires are fizzing about Pope's murder. Blue traffic is up. Way up. Don't know what's got into them. Must be contract renewal time. Be careful out there, Sal.
So why all the heat?
Our girl's been lifting evidence from a crime scene. Now every cop in the city seems to be after her.
That the evidence you lifted?
Yeah, I think it's from a diary. Rest of it was gone. All I can make out are Icarus, maybe, and to the highest.
Icarus. Wasn't he the Greek guy?
Yeah, his dad made him some wings out of feathers and wax. Then the boy flew too close to the sun. And psst, no more wings, no more Icarus. If anyone's heard anything, then you know who it'll be, Faith.
Yeah?
I know he ain't a runner anymore, but he's got contacts. You can't avoid him forever.
Wanna bet?
Who?
Jacknife.
Alright, now this is where the run actually starts to get pretty frustrating. Some chapters more than others, but this one I think is just absolutely insufferable. But you really do have to kind of, like this one gives you more time than some of the others, but you really do have to pull out all the stops to make the time and just to survive. It's very easy to die in a few different places in this chapter. Alright, remember wall jumps help you move faster. Now, remember, this game is by the creators of a military shooter series, right? And so the health in this game follows shooter rules, where, like, you know, you're, what's the word I'm looking for? Where your health automatically recharges, and as a result, there's more margin for error for both you and the game, right? Like, you don't have to be as perfect to survive or make it through, and the game doesn't have to be as perfect with how it doles out health either. However, if you're playing on hard mode, 2 shots or about almost anything can kill you, 2 or 3 shots, and I got pretty lucky there, but you can absolutely like tank like 2, 3, 4, 5 shots in those canals when it's not your fault at all. Which makes hard mode very frustrating, and like, it's why I don't think hard mode is a meaningful test of skill in this game, because all it does is make combat harder in arbitrary ways, and also, excuse me, also just like adds like this really crazy RNG element. Like, the only reason we're not playing speedrun on hard mode is, you know me, I like playing at the hardest mode the game offers regardless, is that speedrun mode doesn't have hard mode. So the way I see it, even the developers don't think that hard mode is like the best indicator of the game's difficulty. Now, there is a cool trick you can do to jump down there pretty instantly, but I'm not going to do it because it's very tricky. I could not get it done. Now, you do have to roll for this one because it's a bit higher. There we go.
Looks like you're in the clear. Now get into those drains.
I love the wall runs here. They just feel real good to pull off. Now this whole segment right here is actually one of my favorites in the game. Springboard, there we go. Let's see if we can beat the loading screen, the console designed loading screen. Now we have to wait for the first one to finish so that this next one will open. And we can actually steal a couple seconds of time, because the frozen timer, if you go through fast enough, doesn't instantly start back when you go through. Let's wait. Come on. All right. Oh, that was my fault. Okay, we're not gonna get as much time, extra time as we could have. Normally, I'm very good at stealing time, so in real life. Now we're not going to. We could do a quick turn there and just like quickly get across, but I'm not super good at that, so we're not going to.
Keep going. Don't think those blues won't come down here. Hey, I'm getting something on the wires. Shit. Looks like they anticipated you might duck in here and send a sniper.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Now watch, he takes a moment to notice. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about the rest of them because we're not going to be on the side where they are. I always get a little harrowed going on those swing bars because sometimes you just arbitrarily shoot past them for some reason and then fall down. We didn't though, thankfully. Now we're gonna turn. Now that I'm surprised by. Normally I have to kind of grip the edge and climb up on both of those, but I guess I was careful enough that I didn't have to. Now this part's a bit frustrating actually. And believe it or not the most frustrating part in the stage. Now, there is a trick we can use to save a lot of time here. We're not going to bother because I can never pull it off properly. And that is time we cannot afford to lose because when you die, your time continues. It doesn't reset to the checkpoint when speedrun mode. So, but normally you can wall run here. I can never do it. Reliably enough. So I'm not going to. Even though it does look really cool. There we go. Now we gotta go left. Now we're climbing up the storm drain, which is... I do really like the premise of this stage. I just think it's kind of a cool, like... I think the vibes are pretty strong. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that you don't have to skill roll there. There we go. Now time does not stop here, probably because this isn't a masked loading screen the way the elevators are. Get a head start. There we go. Skip most of it. All right.
Look, Jacknife may know something about Pope's murder, so don't let him wind you up, okay?
All right, so we should have just enough time. I think last time I got here, I only had like 2 minutes left, which was far from the amount of time we needed. And that wasn't very good, but we'll see. Jacknife, you know, cool hacker dude name. Go. And of course he just kind of waits for us because, you know, video game rules. Now here's a cool trick we can do. I'm not losing him. He's literally right in front of me. Oh, that was very annoying. That was the springboard not working the way it was supposed to, in my opinion. Like, normally he only says, Faith, you're losing him if you're getting behind, but I wasn't getting behind him, so I'm not sure what triggers that, but oh well. But yeah, sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes the springboards, like, you'll jump on them imperceptibly in the wrong direction, and as a result, it'll just, yeah. We might have enough time. We're not looking as good as I hoped we would.
Can you find another way through to him?
There we go. Whoa! Oh man, I did it! Normally you have to like kind of like go through all of those like rafters below there, and if you don't jump far enough, but I barely made that skill jump, and oh, that felt so good.
I heard a cop did it.
You heard
This is my first successful run too. I'm not too upset about that time either. Sorry, I'll stop gushing about myself. I'm just very, very excited I was able to pull that off.
Used to go by the name of Ropeburn.
Everyone's got names like Jacknife and Ropeburn and all these elite hacksaw sounding names.
People are too ignorant to see their place. Always want to swim in the big pond. Never see the bigger fish. If I were you, I'd start with that glorified slab of meat. Happy hunting, Faithy.
Listen,
Faithy is such a nickname.
Straight away.
I'm not. I'm gonna see Miller.
Oh, Faith, what are you doing? You're gonna tell him about Jacknife?
Not yet. He's still a cop, no matter what Kate says.
You see him?
Yeah. He's heading for his car. Lieutenant Miller? I'm Faith. Kate's sister?
She never mentioned a sister.
Yeah, well, we're not the mentioning kind. She told me to find you if things went bad.
She's been arrested. And you wouldn't be the suspect seen fleeing from the crime scene, would you?
Well now, it's difficult to recall with a gun in my face.
I know what you are.
You know it was a setup, right?
I know Kate wouldn't be capable of something like this. But my captain's asking some difficult questions, and I can't even get in to see her.
What do you know about something called Icarus?
Why?
It's mentioned on this. It was in Pope's hand. I think it's from his diary.
You took evidence.
Kate's the only family I have, Lieutenant. And Blues in jail don't last long. She goes down for this, it's a death sentence.
I won't stop you. I owe that much to Kate. But there are plenty of people who'll try. And I can't stop them either. You better learn how to run.
Running is what I do best.
Ropeburn's got an office at Seaburfield International Shipping near the Riding Park subway. Should be a sign on top of the building. It'll help guide you. Look, I saw Ropeburn wrestle once. Broke some poor bastard's arm, then headbutted the ref. So if this Ropeburn really is mixed up with Pope's murder and Kate's setup, then he sure won't be a talker. He'll be a fighter.
Alright, we have a very, very, very short time limit on this one for par, as opposed for how long it is. So we're immediately starting off with an alternate route best we can. I did have to do some real research to make sure I was getting the right strats. That's like the only double wall jump you can do is by turning manually from a wall run and then using the quick turn. Whoa, this looks scarier than it actually is. As long as you turn, you'll be all right. Whoa, just barely at the wrong angle. It's very easy to actually mess yourself up on that one by actually scrambling too high before you jump, because then you'll jump too high for the monkey bars, but also not high enough to make the ledge. Took me a while to figure that out. All right. There's another quick one you can do. I got caught, so it wasn't as fast as it could have been, but still pretty decent. That one I tend to have trouble scrambling on the first try. You just have to, I just mash the spacebar, makes it a lot easier to grab on. And now we'll get to relax with a cutscene for a bit, while Ropeburn does his weird Vince McMahon impression. At least that's what I imagine the impression is. I don't really watch wrestling.
And I got more folks watching me than just you. And they wanted us to wrap her up all night with those blues. Yeah, so it don't look good for you and your little gang. Take that up with them. In a few days, it'll all be over. Today's front page will be tomorrow's kitty litter. Come on! That run-up won't last long. None of them will, right? The precious Project Icarus will be fine. Bye. And don't get your panties in a bunch. Meet me at that new place on Reynolds Street tomorrow. 4 p.m., okay? Don't freak. They ain't finished building it yet. All quiet once you get above street level. See you there. And don't bring any of your friends. We good? Good. Anyways, I gotta get some chow. Frame like this don't hold up itself, you know.
Alright, now this part is a bit tricky if you don't really know what you're doing. And also there's a little bit of what feels like luck involved. But also that's quite possibly my lack of knowledge for a certain thing I can do. Whoop. That was just poor directional inputs on my part. There's a very, very quick way out of this room, but I can't always pull it off, what's the word? I can't always pull it off, there we go. Alright, I can't always, sometimes I will fall down and then have to climb back up, which is still faster than taking the long way, but it doesn't save me that much time.
Don't stop, you ain't shaking them yet.
This part's tough right here. There we go. If you're on hard mode, this part is like infuriating because see, like that right there, if I was in hard mode, would have killed me. just because like 1 or 2 shots at anything will kill you. But we got pretty lucky, plus we're non-hard, so just using the wall jumps. And the thing about this chapter in particular that's rough for the part-time is that if you don't, what's what I'm looking for, is like, even if you're doing really well, like just a couple of screw-ups later in the chapter can like absolutely ruin you for getting part-time. Like I've had a few recording runs of this ruined now because like I just got unlucky / made one poor like input that like set me back by like 30 seconds or something, which can be really dire for how fast I'm trying to get through this.
Drake's got a hideout up ahead. Head for the cranes and I'll update you when you get closer. Watch it, Faith. The Blues have a chopper incoming.
And there's a springboard right to our left. I always, I sometimes choke during that part, so I try to be extra careful. This springboard right here sometimes gives me issues for some reason. Like the inputs for, like a lot of the struggle with learning Mirror's Edge, in my experience, is that like the inputs need you to be very precise, and sometimes you'll miss by what feels like a fraction of a pixel or something, and then it's like, oh, come on, and you know, that it's just a skill issue. It's just what it is. You just got to get used to it, but it does make it frustrating when you're learning. All right, now we actually have to engage with the combat here. This one will be really quick if we do it properly. There we go. Now let's get out of here. We can scramble up here. That way we don't have to get that pipe to the left. Saves us just a little bit of time. Alright, we're making pretty decent time. Definitely better than some other times I've made. Ah, yes. Running, the threat to children. Make sure they don't like red. Those propaganda signs are pretty fun. Now this is where the run really can go to hell if you're not careful. Oh, that could have been dire if I would normally I'm a bit more precise than that, but if I was off just by a little bit, that could have been a death right there. Which should be clear, you can die in these and still get the part-time. The problem is that dying. Whoop. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, that could have been better. That wasn't as dire as it could have been, because that could have been death if I wasn't careful, but I could have also gotten up here like in one go if I was doing better. We're still making way better time than I normally do by this point though, so that's good. Oh, that could have been a little bit better. That's all right. All right, I think we're gonna make it just fine. We just have to get through this final stretch. Not that much can go wrong at this part. Famous last words. Alright, yeah, I think we're gonna make it. We're gonna be right under the wire, but we'll make it. Yeah, well, I think right here is when I failed last time I got this far. Yup, we're gonna make it. Just barely, but we did it. Hey, first try today.
Did you just do what I think you did?
Not bad.
God damn it, girl. I just spilled my Joe all over the keyboard.
Hey, can you get a message to Miller? I need to see him again.
Sure.
There we go. Whew.
I received your message.
I started looking into Ropeburn.
Why?
He's Travis Burfield, Pope's head of security.
You think he killed Pope?
Maybe. He sure as hell set Kate up. Wanted a cop to go down for it. And he wasn't alone. Heard him mention Project Icarus.
Burfield is dangerous, Faith. He's not someone you want to mess with.
He framed my sister.
I'm sorry, Faith.
For what?
For this. I don't want Kate to go down for this either. But we've got private firms muscling in on our districts. Bolstering city security, they call it. They're breathing down our necks, waiting for us to slip up. The only way they might go easy on us, and easy on Kate, is if I give them...
Me.
Yes.
All I care about is Kate. And for her sake, I'm gonna let you go. But if you pull a gun on me again, I will kill you. And right now, I think I'd be doing the city a favor.
Part time is 9 minutes, so we have a lot of improvements to make. I'll show you a couple tricks as soon as this cutscene's over.
There's a bird going in the direction of Ropeburn's meeting.
You think it's Ropeburn's pal?
Maybe, but it looked like a CPF one to me. And how many other people can get their paws on a bird in this place?
Not many. Hey, you better get going if you want to catch them. And keep off street level 2. Blue's around.
Alright, a side jump and a quick turn like that will give you full speed instantly. And that's a skip you're not supposed to be able to do. Here's another one we're gonna do. Oh, we could have... Okay, we saved quite a bit of time regardless of, There we go, okay. That could have been better. We could have cleared that, fence, but I'll take it.
I'm looking at the plans for this place. It's a labyrinth. And quiet, too. No wonder Ropeburn picked it. But if there's a
Oh, come on.
near the roof, you're gonna need to find a way up.
That was annoying, but still, we have better time than we would have on other runs. No. Fall down, fall down, fall down. It feels... I don't know what I'm supposed to do to prevent her from doing that, that look over, but that's an animation you can't skip. Where she'll just kind of, like, look down, and it's like, trying to get through and just fall down instead of, There we go. I didn't have to do that, but it looks cool. Alright, now we're gonna go right up here and get this valve. Oh, come on. There we go. This is one of the reasons why learning the levels is so important, because, like, the most obvious way isn't always the way forward. And also, like, if you want to hit these speedrun parts, you'll have to, like, you'll have to do things that aren't quite, obvious.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, part of the game's design is that they want you to kind of, like, frantically look around for a path forward while playing. And the result of that is that the intuitive way forward isn't always the main way forward. And there's a, springboard here. And I'm not sure how I feel about the non-obvious way forward not being the main way forward, but it is interesting for replays.
Both go
And this right here is a QTE that feels a little bit intimidating. You're meant to use reaction time with it, but we can beat it without reaction time. You just need to do it a little bit earlier than it looks like you do. This is the only thing like this in the game, by the way. There we go. It looks like you can do it a little bit later than that, but you don't. Now we'll get a little cutscene right here while Vince McMahon begs for his life.
Your hand's starting to sweat. You set up Kate Connors, didn't you?
That little cop? Yeah.
Had to be a cop, right?
I don't mess in politics.
Who killed Pope? You?
No! I hired someone.
Who?
A professional. Meeting him tomorrow, 2 p.m. Take him in the mall downtown. You'll recognize him.
Why were you with Miller?
You sure you want to know about that? Pull me up and I'll tell you.
Watch him, Faith.
Try anything and you're roadkill.
Sure.
Well, rip Vince McMahon.
Shit! Merc, someone shoot. They got Ropeburn. What the?
Blue's about to crash the party, Faith. Get out of there.
There we go. Let's get out of here. Goodbye. That was an accident. I was trying to skip the knockover, which you can do, but
Seems Jacknife was bang on the money about Ropeburn being behind this. Wonder who his professional is. I'm boosting your signal. Try and find a way through.
there we go. All right. That could have been a little bit more graceful. I had a brain fart where I forgot where I was and what I had to do.
Signal set. Seems you might be
Also happens to me in real life, am I right?
Looks like the Riding Park subway stop's closed. Some kind of renovation work.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was close.
Oh boy, Blue's going into the subway. You gotta go deeper, Faith.
You can, I don't think you can get fast enough to beat that. At least the speedruns I've seen haven't. So I don't think it's possible. I feel if you were able to, then speedruns would have shown it for sure.
Blue's ahead trying to cut you off. Get ready to
Alright, now this one is just going to be a lot of running. We are not going to fight. Merc keeps wanting us to fight, but it ain't happening. Not this time. If you're playing on hard mode, this climb can absolutely kill you if you don't kill the soldiers. All right. There we go. There we go. Now, this one is counterintuitive. We actually have to wait for a moment.
Blue's getting close. Get moving, Faith. Losing your signal.
Now we just gotta wait right here. And after this, we'll be good. There we go. Whoop. That was my bad. There is a faster route you can take, but I'm simply not good enough for it, and I kind of mucked it up right there. Lost some time. Hopefully we'll be okay. We'll see, though. There we go. There we go. This is a bit tricky.
Look sharp. Whole tunnel ahead. Jump to another train.
This is very harrowing, by the way. Just like the concept is scary, like getting hit by a train in first person like this in a semi-realistic looking environment, even though the game is old.
Shit, the Blues are stopping trains in the tunnels now. There's a train coming behind you. Get the hell out of there. Nice work, kiddo. Real nice. If you get any more trouble, Celeste's on a job near you.
Woo! All right. I actually can't remember if the time was 8 minutes or 9 minutes, but we ripped it apart.
What are you thinking about?
A murderer?
Yeah?
Yeah. Pope's. Got a tip-off about a meet at the New Eden Mall tomorrow. Gonna pay a visit.
Shit, Faith. Why are you doing this? It's not your fight. Just, I don't know, lay low.
Everything's changed. The city's different now. I keep thinking of my folks. They thought this place was something worth protecting. Mom and Dad were friends with Pope. Organized protests, lobbied the mayor, took me and Kate on marches. But I never really understood why back then. What it meant.
Merc said your mom died.
She was killed during the downtown riots. Protest marches that went bad.
That's rough.
After that, we, well, pretty much fell apart. Dad never forgave himself, and I left home soon after. Guess I never really forgave him either.
That's when you met Merc?
He caught me, breaking into his place.
No kidding. You never said that.
He offered to train me. Felt like a good way off the street, so I took it. Not much else going for me.
What you're doing now, Faith, is the fastest way to get yourself killed.
They got my sister involved, Sel, and I need to clear her name. I owe her that much. I'll survive. That's what we do.
Survival is overrated. You need to live a little, too.
Hey, you want to come with me tomorrow? Could use the help.
Can't. Drake's got me on a job. Says I've been slacking. Look, I've got to go.
It's fine. Someone's bound to start shooting at me soon. Get going.
Faith. Take care.
The New Eden Mall should be ahead of you, but watch it. Mayor Callahan's on some kind of campaign drive-about. A few streets away, so there are roadblocks all over the place.
Alright, our part time is 9 minutes, which I can just barely squeak by, and we're definitely going to use some unintended skips to get through it. But don't worry, they're easy. One of them is literally just jumping off here. because jumping and then respawning down here on the ground is literally faster than using the pipes. So that saves us a little bit. And we're also going to do another skip right here. Normally this firing squad will insta-kill you. However, if you do the jump like that for some reason, most of the bullets, not all, but most of the bullets will miss you. So we can just kind of run through instead of having to go up those blue stairs. Now you can get unlucky and die, the way I'm almost dying right here, and you can't actually die, which is annoying, but most of the time you will take like almost no hits. Because normally it took us 45 seconds to get here. Normally it would take us like 2 minutes, if not more, to get there if we took the full route. There we go. Oh, hey, we're making, this is my best time so far on this. Normally I'm at least 105 plus. I'm guessing that November thing is remember the 5th of November reference. Now watch, this is weird right here. Wait for it to open. See the freeze, see how the vertical disappeared? The game hitches. And I think the reason for that is because there is a cutscene that they removed. Because normally, like, Faith only stops like that when there's a cutscene about to happen. And in fact, if you go into the PC version's gaming files and look at the Aaron Esurance cutscenes, like, there are at least 2 of those missing because they're numbered, and the numbers go like 1, 2, 4, 6, and so on. Like 3 and 5 are missing. I think there's like 1 other one that's missing, which is kind of interesting. We could have done that series of jumps down there a bit faster, but I can't get them pulled off correctly, so we just did them the normal way. This right here is a bit annoying. You just kind of have to go off. Like, you can way too easily fly off the edge if you're not careful. We're going to skip this combat scene right here. I promise this isn't as scary as it looks. You just run, you jump, you scramble, you climb. Now, if you get lucky, you can get full with like tons and tons and tons of bullets. But at least in my experience, I've never died like by doing that. I've only almost died, so as long as you know what you're doing, it should be fine. Now, he says we're doing good. I'm not sure if that's one of those lines I mentioned that he drops to tell you that you're going faster than expected, but we're going to say it is and say that Merc is praising us. Thank you, Merc. We're very good at this. Well, I tried to do a side jump, but didn't do it properly. Oh, well, not a big deal. Unfortunately, we can't skip these pipes, but we are going to do another skip involving pipes in just a moment. It's a very annoying one that's ended my run so many times.
You're close to the mall, Faith.
Alright, now this is a bit tricky. There we go, alright. And we skip most of the pipes doing that. You can probably skip even more of this pipe by jumping to that sign and scrambling over, but I'm simply did not feel like bothering learning that. I've saved enough time as it is. You can also skip over those soldiers, but I always get shot down when I try to do it, so I didn't bother. Now, there's a lot of cool tricks I can see you can do here, but we're just going to stick to the springboard. Whoa! That was my bad. Oh, darn it. I've never been able to pull it off, but there is a... Darn it. There is a pretty crazy skip you can do where you climb over the electric fence. Alright, we're doing really good right here. Normally, okay, not as good as some of them. I have gotten to like 421 on previous runs getting to here, but this is still pretty decent. Definitely better than the 430 plus I normally get at this point. Now this is very annoying. No, now we are not going to do that. Oh, okay, you gotta be kidding me there. Okay, yeah, this is very... If you're trying to go speedy, that can just get really annoying. Because it's one of those things where, like, if you jump too high, the monkey bars will, like, you'll miss the monkey bars and still not get far enough. Now, there is a skip you can do up here. I'm not good enough to do it. So we're just gonna go the regular route.
Ropeburn was meant to be meeting his little friend in the atrium, right? Well, it should be just ahead of you. Damn chatter's gone wild. Get out of there.
This looks scarier than it is. The glass will break as soon as we get to the top.
Shit. Sorry, Faith. Nothing about that on the wires. Climb up towards the upper levels.
Oh, that was my mistake. There is a shorter route you can take, but I'm just not gonna. I'm just not very good at doing it. So we're taking the regular route here. There's a lot of cool stuff you can learn if you really commit to learning it, but I found it very frustrating, and so I just kind of stuck with the main route for a lot of these. Not everything, though.
You gotta get to the roof, Faith. Wall's got some support structures and maintenance areas at the top.
Come on, come on.
There should be a way
Let
out
me
there.
up. That's very annoying. Sometimes the game will do that.
Keep going. You think Ropeburn set you up?
Oh, I fell way faster than I thought I would. Come on.
Get higher, Faith.
All right, now this is actually very annoying right here. We have to hit this switch and let the fan go down. Not only does the speedrun timer not stop, but you have to wait till it's perfectly still, otherwise it'll hit you and kill you, which is just dumb. But like, if it's a fake load, if it's a loading screen, I don't know why the timer doesn't stop, but oh well.
Oh shit, Faith, they have a goddamn machine gun.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is very, very annoying. There we go. There we go. But yeah, that bit right there where we had to jump through the ceiling has ended so many of my runs. It's crazy how many runs of mine it's ended.
Should be one last.
There we go. All right. Sub 8:30. Let's
I
go.
don't know, but I think I know someone who does.
Hey, Faithy. Nice of you to drop by.
With a little bit of persuasion, Ropeburn was pretty chatty. Told me about his meeting with Pope's killer at the mall.
And you're thanking me, right?
But when I got there, guess who was waiting for me?
No idea, Faithy. I just go there for the pretzels.
Bad case of the blues. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
No, Faithy! It wasn't me! Besides, if I wanted you dead, don't you think I would have just killed you myself?
You're right. A creep like you couldn't have organized.
Now, don't be like that.
Ropeburn's dead.
I'm impressed.
Wasn't me.
You need to be careful who you hang around with.
Oh, I learned that a long time ago.
And yet, here we are again. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to cut this little meeting short, Faithy. Places to be, you know how it is. Try not to get yourself killed.
Merc, you can stop pretending not to listen now.
What's up?
Can you do a search on Pirandello Kruger security?
On it.
Why do you ask?
Been seeing their name around. In Ropeburn's
His office and somewhere else.
distinctive logo. Getting anything?
Just what you'd expect. Alarms, fencing, armored cars, private security. Oh, and they secure our world, apparently.
Where are they based?
A few offices around town. Just got a new place down near the docks.
Get me some coordinates.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Our time is 7 minutes, and you can see we already did it much faster than that, so time should be all right. However, there is a lot of collision stuff in this chapter that feels like very dumb RNG that I'm not a fan of. Like that right there, for example. That was a near perfect jump. 99% of the time, my foot or my head gets caught on something that slows me down. We could have taken that red line and then done a side jump boost down here to save ourselves a couple seconds, but I'm not confident enough in my side jump boost with that tight of a line to do it. We also still save tons of time compared to going downward and having to climb up here. Now this opening section right here, it's really just all memorization because the path board isn't particularly intuitive. So you know, you just have to like do it a few times, and once you have it memorized, it'll be all right. It's the thing about pathfinding a Mirror's Edge is that it can be needlessly tough from a level design perspective at first, but once you learn but it's very easy and quick to learn these because they just, I don't know, there's something about them that feels like real spaces, I guess. So like they stick in the mind. Like the level design is very unique. Nothing feels copy pasted, despite how unified the art style, the visual direction is. Yeah. Now right here, this is another RNG choke point. We just have to run past these guys. You've got to be kidding. You know what? We'll take that second loss and we'll continue this run. You can actually die if you have sniper damage still in you. Now this is another RNG choke point. You just have to hope you don't get shot to death before scrambling up here. There we go. We got very lucky that time. Usually I get shot 3 or 4 times and then die.
Intruder in the vicinity of the loading bay. All available units proceed there at once.
According to the plans, there should be a way through beyond the conveyor system in there.
There we go. I used to have so much trouble with this jump right here. We don't have to hit this, but I'm going to do it anyway, just for the flavor. But yeah, like the rest of this stage is very, very, very straightforward for the most part. No. Ugh. Yeah, that happens to me way too often. It's very annoying. It's another one of those things where like if you were too good at platforming, you get punished, which just I don't know. I guess you could say that's like a player learning thing where you have to like learn the finer physics of it all, but it feels very, it doesn't feel intentional. Like that right there, if I jumped just a tiny bit further, like I would have like missed the pole and I would have died. So you just gotta kind of be careful about those niggling things. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like, I guess that could be intentional and like that is just part of the game and you gotta learn it, which is fine. But it feels unintentional. You know what I mean? Like it really doesn't feel like it's the intention that I hold myself back from like doing like very long and high jumps. All right, we've done most of the hard stuff here, but now I think this is actually a really fucking cool narrative beat. So I'm just gonna let you watch.
Jackpot. Think I found the nerve center, Merc. Could be some kind of training room. Drake.
What are they training them for? You mean there's something left in the city they haven't managed to tax, ban, or regulate? What the hell's left, huh?
Us. Merc, get your gun.
You know that's never too far away. Why?
This training, Merc. This Project Icarus, Pirandello, Kruger, they're not here to bolster the police. They're being trained to come after us. After the runners. All the runners. Everything okay up there?
Quiet as a grave. Just me, birds, and the best black market surveillance equipment money can buy.
It's him.
Him?
The guy I saw at the mall. I've seen him on a camera, on the deck of a boat at the docks.
Look, Faith, you've done enough. Right now, it seems you're sitting in a lion's den. So please, haul ass out of there. Chatter's gone berserk. Blues know you're there. Get out now.
Now this I absolutely love. Like these are the pursuit cops, because what's going on here is the game is suddenly throwing people who have your powers, so to speak, as a player. And I just think that's horrifying. I remember the first time I did this back in the day, it was like, holy fuck, no way. Like they can climb after you, like the walls and the ceilings and all the, you know, the high buildings, they're no longer safe for Faith. And I just think that's an insanely cool narrative element. Like it gives me like a similar, like this is a weird pull, but it gives me a similar feeling to like the SAX and Metroid Fusion. Just that sense of like dread that there's like that there's an enemy who's as powerful as you chasing you. Like that's really rad, I think. Now we just gotta run. This right here, they can catch up to you. They can tase you as well, so. Oh, darn it. Yeah, they can catch up to you if you're not careful. They won't follow us here, thankfully.
There's some train tracks up ahead of you.
This is very tricky. Oh, no, that was my fault. I miscalculated where the jump was. That's fine though. We made it. I'll take this this WL. But normally you get on the and we're barely slower than my personal best. So you know what? I'll take that. That's fine. We still beat the par time, and that's what matters. But yeah, normally you can kind of like, you can leap over and jump onto that red wire, and that'll just take you to the end faster. Alright, so this is a fairly vanilla run compared to the past couple chapters with all the skips we've been doing.
Well, there might be more heat out there. It's too risky to try to get to the boat by foot. You'll be spotted for sure. There must be some way to slip in undercover.
Alright, so this looks kind of scary, but first we're going to jump down here and then hit this monkey bar, but we're not going to jump, we're just going to drop and roll, turn around, same down here, and then we thankfully / annoyingly have to wait around for what feels way too long, but thankfully the time doesn't go.
A little stowaway action, Faith. Quick, before it goes.
What the hell is in this boat anyway?
No idea. Could be munitions, I guess. Might be to do with this Project Icarus. Look, head straight for the deck if that's where you saw this guy. Once you found your killer, get some answers and get out fast. Lots of blue traffic in the area, so get ready for a fight.
There are a lot of drawings like this that you can find hidden throughout the game. They're just kind of cute, I guess. Now, there is a crazy skip you can do here coming up that looks fairly easy to pull off, but it also skips like half the level, and I just don't feel like doing that, so we're not going to do it. There's also a skip we could have done at the beginning where we dropped to that red pole to the left, but I couldn't figure out how it worked for the life of me, so didn't bother doing it. Oh yeah, and the part time here is 8 minutes. And now, this doesn't come up for me often, but remember, you can disarm people from behind, which we did that there. That's like the only time I've done that, actually, in this game, is that stage right here. Whoa! Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes if there's like two objects, you'll get caught between them. Go. There you go, that's another combat that we mostly didn't engage with. This one we are going to have to engage with. Whoa! That was close. There we go. I've done that room a bit faster, but that's all right. Right now we just kind of squeeze in here. I actually forgot to look up if there are any faster routes through this room, so I didn't bother taking them. But I still finished it with, as you can see on the screen, with nearly 45 seconds to spare, so I'm not particularly worried. Even though this room does take its sweet time. The time bar is very generous for how short this stage is. I think the reason for that will become apparent as we continue on. Or more accurately, I will make clear why I think that is when it becomes relevant. Whoop. That was freaky. I couldn't see what I was doing for a moment.
Drake says he's got a runner in your area.
And this room can get very frustrating if you aren't 100% sure what you're doing. Go. That is what I'm talking about. Basically that room communicates that you can't. Did I seriously just fall all the way down? Yeah, like this room is deeply frustrating. You can and the thing about it that's especially annoying is like, if this is your first time getting through, like, if you miss that jump, there's nothing about that wall run that really communicates, in my opinion, that, oh, hey, you can make this jump. Like, because, you know, the wall run can be so finicky sometimes. Hopefully that didn't kill our run, but we'll see, because that was a lot of time lost. We'll see, though. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut around these valves.
Should be a way through to the top deck above you, near car deck 6.
There we go. Now this scene right here is absurdly tough if you're playing on hard, because 2 sniper shots will kill you pretty instantly. Yeah, like right there, if I was playing on hard mode, that would have been a... That would... And unfortunately, it makes you redo the, this valve every single time, which is just absolute pain on speedrun mode, specifically, because, like, that's a lot of seconds lost each time. Let's see if we can do this. I'm feeling brash today. I'll see if I can get this done in 3 minutes. Come on. There we go. I could probably do that with a little more finesse, but I'm always a bit paranoid because I'm constantly falling off when I try to quick jump that. There we go. Now this is why I think the stage has a long time part, because you have this boss right here. This is the person we've been chasing the whole time. Yeah, this is very annoying. Yeah, we'll see if we can do it. And we have to fight them one more time. So the interesting thing about the combat in this, about the combat with this character in particular, which simply isn't that great in my opinion, even though you can game it and you can learn it, is the thing that's interesting about it is that it plays kind of like Zelda 2, like combat, from what I've played of that, where it's like you are basically, what's the word I'm looking for? You are basically anticipating high and low strikes and striking accordingly. And like, there's not really like an easy like tell for it. You just kind of have to like memorize and really like understand like how they behave, which I think is interesting, even though it's super annoying, like in terms of practice, because you know, combat in this game just isn't very good in my opinion. And I think that the developers agree with me, because you know, in the next game they completely turned combat upside down, got rid of firearms and so on. All right, we might just barely squeak under the wire. Definitely not beating our better time. Oh boy, I caught on something. That's annoying.
Careful, Faith.
Oh, I'm careful. Reckless as always. So you gotta... Ugh, I don't know why this keeps happening. Basically, you have to do 2 punches and then... There we go, we did it. All right. Yeah, that was very sloppy, but not as sloppy as I thought it would be. So I'll take it.
I tried to warn you off. I'm sorry. You've got to learn to let go, Faith. You remember? Like you did with your family. The runners are screwed. Icarus is just the start. And I want to live, Faith, not just survive.
Why Pope?
His campaign was getting unexpected support, but he got stupid. Started making threats to the wrong people. High-up people.
He found out about Icarus, so they had you kill him.
Him or me. Sorry about Kate. Didn't know she was your sis.
Don't ask, Mark, okay?
Heard all I need to hear, kiddo. Listen, Krieg says Kate's just been tried.
Already?
Wonders of the Swift Justice.
This program, huh? They found her guilty, Faith.
Of course they did.
Convoy's taking her off to jail in less than an hour.
Bar time is 8 minutes. We're gonna pull this small trick right here. If you land on the bar, you don't take fall damage, which means we don't have to waste a precious roll for that. Well, a precious second on a roll. We do have to roll here, though. This opening segment right here for the next like couple minutes is honestly the hardest part of the game. Or sorry, not the hardest part of the game. The hardest part of this chapter, in my opinion. Yep, they will just sometimes attack you and really slow you down, and it's very frustrating. It doesn't feel like there's much skill base to it. They just kind of do it, and you just gotta hope it doesn't happen to you. That time it did. Come on, come on. I don't know why it didn't do a fastball, but whatever. There's a much faster way to skip through all this from down all the way up in that building and jumping down here. I think it involves like bunny hopping or something that I can't figure out, so I didn't do it. One of the speedrunners I watched, he just kind of like was bobbing his head to the music in this scene. Speaking of which, there are 2 speedrunners and one other YouTuber who I'm gonna leave links to in the description who have really helped me out, either just with their videos or some of them actually answering questions when I commented. So, you know, I really want to shout them out and share their videos. But 2 of them are speedruns, and 2 of them are, two of them are speedruns, and one of them just a tech explanation video. Sorry, I had to focus for a moment. Now this right here, in the immortal words of Merc, get some air in your lungs and run, Faith. Now, it looks like you're gonna die, but you're not going to. We actually got pretty lucky that time. I have almost died so many times, taking like 4 shots going up there, but I've never died going up there. Of course, in hard mode is a different story, but, you know, speedrun mode is on normal. Now we got one more very hard. No. Oh, wow. That was embarrassing. I freaked out. I was gonna quit because I thought for sure we had missed it. Okay, that was harrowing, but I'll take it. Alright, now this next scene coming up, this next room, in my opinion, the absolute coolest room in the game. Like, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm pretty sure, I think, as far as the game is concerned, this is the climax of the game. So here's my read on what's going on here in this room, what they want you to feel, is that, is me putting on my analysis YouTuber hat, might be a bad idea, but, is that this, I always do that. This game is about like the Icarus Project and how like the Blues are trying to create like their own false runners to chase down runners, right? Well, I think what's going on here is that you can see like the sun baking down on us. Everything is yellow in this room. Like, I think, and like the theme song is playing, like, you know, that's one of my favorite tropes, replaying the theme song, but like, it feels like, you know, they're trying to communicate that this is what the game is about, right? This is what the game is about moment. And I think the idea you're supposed to take from this is that faith is what the Icarus Project wishes it could be. Like, Faith is the one who is like Icarus, like flying like straight up to the sun. And it's just, I don't know, man. I just think it's a really, really, really cool scene. Like, I'm not doing a good job like explaining it, but it's one of those things that's like, when you know, right? Like when you know that you're meant to feel something special in a scene, like you just do. There we go. That is my favorite room. That happens. There we go.
Jesus, the rats are getting big in here. News never stops. Where's the interesting news? Define interesting. Aliens are always interesting.
All right, now if we go down that way, it's a dead end. We have to turn here. Now we have to perform a hit on someone. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so that death is okay because it spawns us down here. Like, speedrunners do that to be faster. I didn't want to do that because, oh, wrong button. I didn't want to do that, but like, you know, it happened, so oh well.
What's your status? Over. Looking good. Route is clear.
Let's run.
Report. Over.
That is the one time you're required to use a gun, by the way. Which is why you get the F to snipe indicator. Now we're just going to skip down to the bottom as fast as we can. We're going to ignore all the enemies. I always forget which way is it. It's this way. Okay. All right, and that is the end of that chapter. Goodness, we obliterated my best time. Hell yeah.
Kate. Kate. Faith? Easy.
Effie, I can't believe you've done all this.
You're my sister. Take this. It's Mark. He's a friend. He'll guide you away from here. I'll lead the blues away. Come and find you later, okay? Oh, God. Mark!
I couldn't stop them. They took Kate. I got some of the bastards, though.
Where'd they go?
I heard them mention the Shard.
The mayor's place?
Yeah.
Shit, Mark. Let me get someone, a doctor.
Ain't gonna happen, Faith.
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm so sorry.
No sorries. Just don't let them win.
I won't, Mark. Promise.
Thanks, kiddo.
Merc has died, and that leaves us with the final chapter with its 6-minute par time. Easily the hardest speedrun par in the game, in my opinion. There's not much in the way of meaningful skips here. You just have to be precise. So we're going to do our best to do just that. There's some weird wall things you can get caught on right there. Now this next room, in my opinion, it's not really particularly clear how to get through here at first. But it's one of those things where like you die once and then you know, so it's not a problem on future runs. Like it's obvious that an explosion time is there's a gas leak, but I didn't know what you're supposed to do is hide in here. But of course, after the first time, it's perfectly fine. It's just a knowledge check. Now, this right here requires utmost precision as well. Basically, if you get behind that pillar before he shoots you, then you're safe. But if he shoots you before you get to that pillar, then the other shots that hit me close to the elevator door would have killed me, and that would have been it. So it's all about being as quick as possible.
Security firm Pirandello Kruger have been authorized to draft in more units until Kate Connors is secured. It is believed that they have been held by from the Robert Pope murder case. More updates on the hour.
Good work. Checker.
Cops are dual-wielding badasses in this world.
Right now, you're Kate's best hope.
Weren't these your guys?
No, they're PKs. Pirandello Kruger. Private security.
What's going on, Miller?
Pope's murder. Turns out there was a man on the inside.
Ropeburn?
Yes. You were right about him. I tried to get answers myself.
But why Kate?
They needed a CPF cop to look like Pope's killer. No time to explain more. Take this comms unit and head for the roof. It's where they've taken Kate. I'll contact you when it's safe. I'll hold them off. The roof. Go! Now!
Now this next part also requires precision. And just a tiny bit of luck, at least for the route I take. So we just kind of run around here. We climb up there. We can get up there faster, but we will take too many shots. There we go. And we're not going to shoot anyone. We're going to drop this. Hit the elevator door. There's actually a delay on this one, so we just run back here. And then we turn around, and that should be just enough time to get it open. There we go. And that's 2 combat encounters that we've completely bypassed, basically. Aside from that one Gatling gun we had to take down. Huh, there's an emergency hatch here. I wonder why this is here. This is normally not in the other elevators.
Constructed in 2012 by the renowned architect J.C. Thomas, this monumental building has over 100 floors of both commercial and residential dwellings, including the offices of Mayor Callahan. The Shard boasts some of the most spectacular views of the city. However, we'd like to remind you that photography is not permitted on floors 90 through 110, but souvenir panoramic pictures are available in our gift shop, along with keychains, t-shirts, and a wide range of zero-fat snacks and beverages.
Drop any weapons you have.
Not sure why that popped open immediately, but...
Thank you for visiting the Shard. Have a safe and productive day.
Well, that was... Yeah, this room in particular feels like not particularly fair in my experience. Like, I just have to keep trying it over and over again until I catch that wire. And the reason I've not, like, reset this run yet is because, like, that's how common it is. Like, it just sort of, like, happens. Now, watch this. We're gonna skip down here. Now, hopefully those 3 deaths didn't, kill our time. We should be fine. I think I died a few times on my winning run as well. But yeah, that room is probably the one that's the most annoying, in my opinion. And that's another one that can kill you if you're not careful. And of course, this always like feels like molasses because it's just all crawling for a few minutes. Really no way to speed it up except to know where to go and to do it quickly. Now this next room right here can be a bit annoying too, but once you know it, it's not quite as annoying. There we go. Okay, that one's always a tight jump to make. If you're unlucky, they can shoot you 3 at a time, which will insta-kill you. Now we just run down here. There we go. Once again, we're not shooting anyone. We're just going to keep going. Oh, well, that was annoying. We should be all right. That was only a couple seconds lost. Now we're gonna have to get up there and disarm him. I've tried skipping past him. It doesn't really work in my experience, because then he'll just kind of like shoot you on the way out, which you can get past with luck, but you don't want to do that. But see, this one sniper is probably gonna shoot me at least once or twice. Whereas, like, if the other sniper was there, I would have gotten shot multiple times and that would have been it.
There's an elevator ahead. I've managed to unlock it.
All right.
Take it to the server room.
This is it.
Able to get to the top floors in case
We're
there.
basically coming up on the final encounter. Take a look at this window. I like how the elevator changes color the whole time. Just look at that city. I love skyboxes like that. They're just real fun to look at. And yeah, like if you're like looking ahead, you can just see the elevator kind of change color into like a hotter and.
Like the security doors to the roof are closed. Okay. If you destroy those servers, their emergency protocol should automatically unlock the doors. I hope. Good luck, Faith. Look around. Surveillance for the whole city right under your nose, Faith. Damn. Sounds like they've taken Kate to the roof. They've got a chopper coming in. You'll have to be quick. What the...
All right, here we go. Oh, I thought I got them all. There we go. All right, I think we did it in time. I actually lost a little more time than I like there, but I should be enough. All right, believe it or not, we're making good time here because that was the last real encounter. We only have a second that's gonna be like 5 seconds long after this. Assuming we don't mess it up. Which sometimes happens in my experience.
Hello, Faith.
Jacknife, you couldn't...
Attitudes like that. Well, that's exactly why I could.
Who's behind this?
Let's just say I know who the bigger fish are.
Of course, the hacker man was the bad guy all along.
Why us? We're no threat.
Classic warfare. Break the lines of communication. Shoot the messengers. Without hope. And without the runners. Your clients. Those who just won't let go of the old city will be cut off. Vulnerable. And this city can clean up the last of its dregs.
He says it like it's a slur.
I prefer to think of it as an ending. Still, you did a remarkably good job of coaxing out all those loose ends surrounding Pope's demise. It's why you're still alive. You can't live on the edge all your life, Faith. Sooner or later, you have to jump.
Challenge accepted. That's right. And beat my part-time, beat the game's part-time. That is the end of Mirror's Edge on speedrun mode. With all part-times. Alright, that is a wrap on Mirror's Edge on speedrun mode, all pars. Man, this may be the fastest iteration I've had on a Mortal Skillplay. Like, I think I only spent like maybe 2 weeks on this total, give or take, and about 45 hours total. But it is possibly the hardest one I've had to do. Because, you know, part of it is like, I don't really play shooters very much, right? So I'm not particularly good at them. So like, you know, first person movement already is kind of a struggle I have. However, like that, you know, that's part of why I did this in segments. Like originally when I envisioned recording this Mortal Skillplay, I was going to do a single segment run of hard mode, right? And I struggled with that for a little bit, and then I was like, I saw the speedrun mode, and I was like, you know what? This is actually more meaningfully difficult in a way that will not only like, you know, make me like up my skill at the game, it'll kind of like show the game at its best, etc. And I just figured that this kind of like segmented, you know, speedrun par thing would be better for the sake of the video. So I hope you liked it. I am a little bit out of my element since I normally don't cover games like this, but I hope this was meaningful to you and helpful. There is also going to be a no commentary version of this that I will also upload alongside. So it might not be available the same day and date, but you know, I'll make sure to have that linked. I'll make sure to have that linked in the suggested video at the end or something like that. And also in the description for sure. But yeah, if you if for some reason you want to watch this again, if for some reason you watch this whole video, this whole long play, and you went, man, this was cool, but that guy talking was annoying, then there will be a trimmed version without the cutscenes and everything, just the gameplay compiled, and no talking also up. Yeah, as for what I think about Mirror's Edge, I think this game has a lot of warts, so to speak. Oh, we'll let this guy talk first.
9 people dead and many more injured. According to a Callahan staff member, a security breach led to a series of catastrophic outages in the Shard's many public protection systems, causing havoc not just at the Shard, but throughout the city. The suspects in the act are none other than the former CPF officer and accused murderer Kate Connors and her sister, Faith Connors. Although the scope and precise cause of the outages is as yet unclear, many troubling questions have emerged in their wake, including the role of the so-called runners in the destabilization of city operations. In the aftermath of the incident, local security firm Pirandello Kruger will be assisting the CPF. PK and the mayor's office have also recommended mobile phone and email be used sparingly until additional security measures have been deployed, as their security has been temporarily compromised. The whereabouts of both suspects are currently unknown.
And of course, those kind of tease a sequel that will never happen because Mirror's Edge wasn't followed up with a sequel. It was followed with a prequel reboot. I don't know much of the details, but I do know that Mirror's Edge Catalyst is a prequel reboot. Anyway, it's a game that I think Mirror's Edge, the original Mirror's Edge, is a game that I think has a lot of cool ideas. It's got a lot of warts just because it was doing something so new at the time. And another thing to remember is that the game came out in 2008, 2009 on PC, but 2008 on consoles. That was deep in the hell world of developers, especially Western developers, being absolutely terrified to trust the player with any kind of meaningful decision. So to make a game that is as open as Mirror's Edge, where you have as many decisions that you can make in each stage, like that was iconoclastic in 2008. Like it was also, I also think that part of the reason why developers are doing that a lot is, besides wanting to appeal to this like mythical everyday casual gamer the way they all wanted to, I also think that there were some issues with like the jump to HD development that caused it to be difficult to create kind of like open design like that. But that's a whole other can of worms we won't get into. Point is, Mirror's Edge got some warts. Still a fantastic and unique movement system like I've not seen any other game. It is because I'm not particularly good at like first-person games like this, it is very frustrating for me to learn, but also very, very, very satisfying to pull off. And I'm really glad I played this. I think that if you want to play it, you can. Just remember that you're not going to be this good. I'm not saying I'm good either, but you're not going to be anywhere remotely approaching good when you first play Mirror's Edge. And that's totally fine. You'll get through the first time, you'll stumble through, you'll die a lot, you'll take 20 to 40 minutes on a stage, and that's totally cool. And when it's done, you know, you can be satisfied with that and leave on and move to another game. Totally fine, that's what most people do, right? They play through a game once and they move on. Or you can stay with it. If you really like it, you can stay with it and you can iterate and you can learn and you can get better. You can watch what other people do, other tricks they pulled off. You can try to find your own tricks for getting through the game quickly, and that's part of what makes, you know, replaying games feel so satisfying to me. I love iterating and actually truly learning a game beyond what it requires for base engagement. And you know, like a certain runner said, surviving is fine, but you need to live a little too. That'll be all for this Mortal Skillplay, everyone. Thank you for watching. You're all the absolute best, and I will see you later.